how great it is to have the learning curve practiced on our little closed Facebook group, to where, like some of you shared, for me, what I did is I made a script and then I filmed it, or, you know, whatever you found most worked for you is the idea of this course, is how you had that internal learning. For me, I script them a lot of times. And then I follow that script. And then sometimes the last one, I just wing it. And that often is the best one. So, you know, but you learn about yourself, right? And sometimes I shoot videos, watch them, make notes, adjust, refilm it. So it's really not always a one take shot. Don't worry. But my whole goal in everybody getting this accomplished is, you guys that didn't get this video up yet, go to the Facebook page. It's so inspiring to just scroll down there, seeing everybody's intro. It's great. We have 5 up there now, and we know that everybody's going to get this done at some point. And it's just fun to see ideas from other people. And again, the whole point is just for your internal learning. How did it feel to be on camera? You know, what obstacles did you face getting into it? What did it help you to script it? Are you the kind of person that films it, watches it, retakes it like me? You're learning your way. You're learning your way. Okay, so we're going to start tonight with John here.
I'm here.
Good. He's going to anchor us in a opening practice. I'll turn it over to you, John.
Welcome. Can you hear me all right? Everything okay?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. I have not completed my introductory video yet, but I absolutely will. So thanks for mentioning that, Christine. So, and I appreciate everybody who has as well. And I appreciate the ongoing connection here to be able to come back to this monthly basis. So yeah, I want to invite you just to drop in tonight. So I'll invite you wherever you are, just to close your eyes, just to turn your attention to your breath, the fullness of your breath, nourishment of your breath. Yeah, and just let yourself be here for the call tonight. What you have to offer, the questions that you have, support, how you can support each other. But just tune into your body for a moment. Feel your ribs moving, feel your breath moving. Feel the nourishment of the breath, the life in your body. We take in the oxygen that we need. Our body has the wisdom to distribute it to all the cells in our body where it needs to go. And we exhale the carbon dioxide that we don't need. This beautiful rhythm of the breath as well. Just to feel the natural inhalation, the point where it turns to the exhalation, and back to the inhalation. Just whatever's happened today, just to let that be, let it go, let yourself be present here for the call and the connection, the time we spend here together. And I'm going to invite you just to start at the top of your head, the crown of your head, and gently, step by step, just relax through your body. So your scalp, your forehead, the muscles around your eyes, and your jaw, your tongue, your throat. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to play the native flute just a little bit. So step by step through your body, make sure you check in and just visit all the parts of your body. If you feel some tension somewhere, you can breathe into it. If it may relax, if it doesn't relax, that's fine too. So just step by step, relaxing down through your body. And just continue relaxing down through your body, down to your legs, to your feet that have carried you every step of the way in your life. And wherever you are right now, if you're seated, if you're laying down, I invite you to feel the support underneath you. Maybe underneath your feet, the chair, couch, just wherever you are. I invite you to feel down just below that. Feel below the floor, down into the earth container that's holding us every moment. Holding wherever you are, the building you're in. Maybe you're outside. Just feel your roots down in the earth, however that feels for you. And once you've felt that, I invite you just to feel into your heart, that powerful drum inside. Just to feel a light there in your heart. And that light, just an expression of the fullness of who you are, and just the fullness of you are, the support that we're offering each other to grow in this call, in this group. And we're going to take 3 group breaths together. And as we take 3 breaths, I invite you just to feel that light just growing, just in the fullness and the potential of who you are and how you're growing, whatever is most authentically you, most real for you and your music you share in the world. So let's do that. Let's inhale together. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. I invite you to open your eyes and we can begin the call further.
Thank you, John. Let's give him a nice applause. We're doing the Zoom applause, the shimmering hands. You'll see it on the video. Wow, that was great. Thank you. Really felt good. It's good for you all to get this practice. So sign up now for being next month's leader of that opening practice. And I'm going to hand it over to Jimbo Talbot, who's here from another, looks like, cold place in the world. He's got our opening tip, and the topic is being present.
Thank you, Christine, and thank you, John. That's a really good reminder and a grounding practice, and leads me right into what I wanted to talk about, and that is about being present to find the nuggets within your circle, within the group that you come to facilitate. And I've had the experience many times to walk into a room. I know we all prepare in different ways, but we start our preparation long before we get to the circle. We may have a script, we may not. We begin packing, we prepare to get there, and then people begin filtering in the room once we've arrived. And I find that by listening in very intently, I begin to find that whatever agenda, whatever I came with, is really not relevant any longer. What's really important is who comes in and where they are and what they bring with them. That's their gift. And so I like to be present to the gift that's brought into the room. And I'd like to share one short story as an example of that led to some amazing things that came out of that experience. I've been teaching for about 3 years at a place called Oasis. It's a senior adult education program. It's a nationwide program. And I teach semester-long classes, and the average age is 70 to 75 in this group. And on this particular semester, this was right after President Trump's inauguration and the Women's March. And there was something different about the energy that day when folks came in, when no mistake that I had 17 women in this class, no other men but myself, 17 women that walked in that day. And I could feel this heaviness, and I listened, and I could tell there was something going on. And so when we began, I just started with a simple, gentle heartbeat and some breath work, just like you, John, trying to bring us together. And I felt intuitively that I should pick up my guitar while we were playing heartbeat rhythms and start playing We Shall Overcome. And we started singing this song, and all of a sudden tears just streaming down everyone's faces. And this led to, once we finished the song, this led to an opening up. Now, this is a new semester, new class, and a few had met one another. And within moments, this conversation started up about going to different marches. Where were you? Were you on the mall in DC? Were you in New York? Turns out every single one in that class had been to a march. And everyone bonded and could feel that connection. And that all just came out of just paying attention to the energy in the room and who showed up and their gift at that moment. 2 weeks later, we met again. And this time it was shortly after President Trump had put in the travel ban. And one of the students cried out with tears. She says, "What can we do to help people that are stuck in the airports? How can we help them?" Without knowing what we could really do to help their situation, I suggested an offer that we could drum for them, and we could bring them visualize through our drumming and with our rhythms and intentions and amplifying those intentions that they would be taken care of, that they would be nurtured, that they would end up in the place that they needed to be. And 4 days later, I get a call from a place called Hope Point, which is a refugee center. And the director of this center called me and said, "Jimbo, I understand that you have a women's drum group at Oasis. We have a women's group called Her Village that we meet every Monday night, and we have about 40 women from all different countries, from different refugee camps, and their children, and we'd love it if you could come over and drum." And so 2 weeks later, instead of going to class, we got to go to Her Village. So I just wanted to share some of those little nuggets that when you just pay attention in the moment to what the gift of your participants, those who walk in, are. I work a lot with Downs and other developmental disability groups. And I find that I walk into a room with claves or a shaker in my pocket. And I just walk around the room as everybody comes in and listen in. What are they doing? Sometimes I use a voice. If they're making a sound, can I mirror or mimic the voice? What is it that they respond to? So I just want to invite everyone, whenever you are facilitating, to pay really close attention to your participants, because they are the ones that can shape your circle and make your life so much easier. It's so easy when you let go, because being a 7 and having too many pots and not enough burners, with too much stuff to do, right? And so it's great when you can just let go, breathe, ground in with a group, and just listen and wait for them to give you what comes next. So there you go.
Give him some love. That was well said, and what a moving story. Oh my God. So you took the class to the refugee center.
Yes. And we come with 40
awesome.
And about a dozen infant children from all different countries. And then we invited them to share their songs, and it was just great.
Beautiful. Yeah. Great lesson. Good professional tip, how to stay present no matter what your prep is and your plan is. And of course, I'm going to bring this into the marketing, because it's the same with marketing. You have to catch the wave of what's current, what's currently in, what's currently on the radar of people's consciousness. So that's always the law of marketing. You know, what's currently the hook? the Oscars are coming out. This is a good time to do something about movies or, you know, thinking creatively, the music of movies and the rhythm tracks or these kind of ideas. I posted on our closed Facebook page the new study that came across my desk through the NAM email blast that I subscribe to. I would really recommend you guys to subscribe to it. It's free. And 5 days a week, NAM sends out an email blast. NAM is the National Association of Music Merchants. And they highlight trends and new research studies. And actually, this study I found from a different source, but I did send it over to NAM. And I'll send you all that email to subscribe. I really, really recommend it. And so this study I posted is a great opportunity to, you know, new study comes out showing this and then tag into your work. So that's marketing. It's catching a wave that's already being created by some other force and joining with your work. All right, so let's take a breath. It's so good to have everyone here. It makes me absolutely excited. Like the whole cohort is on the call. You guys are like 2 sessions now in a row with 100% attendance. Even Nai, who's like in Florida with her ill mother, pulled it off in a hospital probably. So that's impressive. That's commitment. Brad in his car after a gig outside of a Jack in the Box using the Wi-Fi. So this is commitment. Okay. This is an exciting topic if you have your hand out, because I want to make space for you to share your archetypes with each other. So first of all, the best marketing is a successful program. So they didn't hear about Jimbo because he didn't do a great job, right? So every event that's good is marketing. That's first and foremost. Don't think you're not doing marketing. If you're doing events and you're doing successful events, that's marketing, right? Now, always remember that 20% of the budget is for marketing. So if you think about your time, 20% of your time goes into marketing. That's 1 day out of 5, right? It takes that much. In corporations, 20% of the budget is marketing. So that's how much it takes. And especially in our work, because we are not market fulfillment, we are market creation. There's 2 key things: market fulfillment. They're selling tires. Everybody's got a car. Pretty soon they're going to have to get a tire. No, we're market creation. The wellness movement, creativity, spirituality, team building, drum circles. We're in the market creation business. Unless you're doing what I think Brad and Carol, especially with their health rhythms focus, they're working in markets that need programming. So that's kind of market fulfillment. It's shifting, but as the baby boomer grows more, and also Lulu's in this business, there's more and more knocking on our doors needing this kind of work. Quick example, I posted that study, Lulu and I were talking about it. It showed even a decrease in inflammation. It was a study of 8 weeks of drum circles with mental health patients in the UK. And lots of benefits. And like the next day, I got a phone call from a local place in my town who said, well, we just saw this study, and so we're interested, what's it cost to have you come in? Like, wow. That's the power of studies, research, news. So content and digital, oh, I know who's missing, Carolina. That's who's missing. We don't have Carolina here tonight. Shoot. Okay, almost perfect attendance. So be also aware of content and digital marketing and magnetic. Pulling people towards you is the goal. And this is just, I always talk about it as the rhythm sampler. Like you go to go grocery shopping at Trader Joe's, and they have a little station and they give you some snack and then you're buying it. Like you don't buy, it was not on your grocery list, but you tasted it and you bought it. So that's how our marketing has to be. How can we give people a free sample? How can we give people that magnetic pull towards our work, right? And the last thing is, beware of the edge of looking too self-promoting. This is probably not anything on this call concerning you guys, but a lot of times I'm out in events and some person stands up and starts announcing their event without asking me first. And that's a real no-no. You do not stand up, I know Damon's cracking up, you do not stand up at the end of a yoga class and announce your event without first asking someone. See, there is a danger of being too self-promoting. But the last word for this section on marketing review is engagement. Now I want to screen share for a minute and show you on Facebook what is this idea of engagement. Okay, so let me pull up. I've been doing some marketing consulting for an organization called Music for People, very cool group. And I want to show you guys how I'm building their engagement statistics. Here is some of the posts. And I always see under the post, because I'm the administrator, I see, here it is. So I posted this study, effects of drumming, depression, resilience, and inflammation response. And I can see how many people it reached, but more importantly, how much engagement it got. And how many people shared, only 3, not a lot. So you can use this technique as you're looking through your work. And as I was mentioning, I posted my rhythm postcard just a few hours ago, filmed it in my backyard. It's gotten 4 shares, likes. I can track all of this. And that's how I got interested in this rhythm postcard thing, is I was tracking the traction and the engagement statistics on the rhythm postcard videos I did in Joshua Tree that got 6,000 views on Facebook. And so these things that are just, you know, once you find your niche, it just came out of me doing it. I didn't design the rhythm postcard. It was like I was out in the field. And I think most of us are that way. We're just out in the field. Jimbo's, if you haven't seen it yet on the Facebook page, Jimbo's intro video is quite in the field. I mean, Stephen and Jimbo both were in the field. So I think that's really cool. Because guess what? It's part of his brand. Let's talk about the brand. I think I'm missing the email handout, Grace. It's on the bottom. It's on the package of handouts that I sent in the beginning. It's lesson 3, not lesson 2. We skipped to 3. I changed the order. But I did email it as well. So yeah, check that email as well on the 14th. So, but branding. Okay, I'm going to give you this giant secret of marketing today. This really, really helped me. I want you all to take a minute to have something to write with, or these days, digital world, type it in your phone. It's fine. So we're going to come up with 3 main archetypes for our work. And the reason we're talking about this is knowing what is your brand. Now, that defines how you make your intro video. So Jimbo's out in a cave, like a really radical, you know, adventure like Indiana Jones version of drumming. So John Crowder works with ski resorts. You know, he could do his video on skis, holding his drum with the snow in the background. Guys understanding this, my brand, one of my key archetypes is credibility, because I bring in my social work degree and my music therapy degree. So I'm always anchoring in on credibility, but my second archetype is wellness. So I always want to make sure I'm dressed in a way that it represents wellness. And that's why I don't mind being in yoga clothes when I teach or shoot my videos, because it's part of my credibility. It's part of my brand. And the third thing in my brand is the enthusiast, UpBeat. And so it's even in the name, UpBeat Drum Circles. You don't see a lot of UpBeat Drum Circles videos that are really, you know, lethargic, or even that sort of anchored meditative grounding style. Even when I do work on shadow drumming and emotional release, I bring in an upbeat energy. So having your brand, let me show you quick on the screen share these archetypes that are really interesting. It'll get you thinking, because I want you to think a little bit about, what is my brand, right? What exactly is my brand? What am I known for? Here's some archetypes to get you thinking. Creator, ruler, magician, jester. You know, Arthur Hall got a real brand going with jester. When you call Arthur Hall, his voicemail says, "This is the voicemail for Arthur Hall, not the real guy with the funny hat." I'm just like thinking to myself, such a good branding move, right? So these are some ideas. Another famous idea of the archetypes is the warrior, teacher, healer, and visionary. I try to bring a little visionary into my brand as well. And why these work in great website developing teams use these brand identifying archetypes because it reaches people. I mean, I have a little bit of a hero brand because my story is a little hero's journey story for sure, as probably a lot of you have. But you can think about what is your, not just the field you work in, okay? My niche is one thing. That's one thing. I'm talking about your archetypal identity today. And how do you bring that into your brand? How do you monetize the fact of who you are? Right? So does this make sense to everybody? Let me open it up if there's any questions. Unmute. Anybody have any questions about this? I want to make sure Grace found the handout.
Good.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
So any questions about this branding?
I think this is the most difficult part of what, or at least for me, this is my most difficult challenge. I don't know what I am in this yet. I mean, I'm 3 years in, but I still don't. I just bring music and rhythm and drumming into almost everything that I do. So I'm not sure what type of archetype I am, but.
Think a little bit more about what populations you're drawn to working with, the uniqueness of your style. Think about who you are. I mean, you're absolutely an inventor. You created those shakers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this group has seen those. Do you have any there?
I did. They're fabulous.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
Grace created a product.
There. That's one of them.
Whoa.
That's cool.
And then there are these guys.
These are the ones I love. Hold the green guy up there and hold still for a second.
Boy.
I've already ordered some.
Right. But I needed something, so I made it. That was all. I needed something cheap and easy that if somebody walked away with, I wouldn't be devastated because they walked away with my instrument.
So it's called the shake your face off shakers. I mean, they represent emotion, so it's also got a therapeutic quality. So, healing might be part of your archetypal brand. The healer.
Probably.
Healer.
Yeah, creative,
inventor, creative. Even the fact that these shakers are here, it represents emotions.
Yeah. And I think fun. To me, it's really important that people play. And so like all of my instruments, most of my instruments are very bright and shiny. And like when I go out, my outfits have big music notes on them and they're very colorful. Sometimes my hair is blue or pink.
Okay, well, that's definitely your brand then. The colorful, the fun. I think you just nailed it. And that didn't take long to go from I don't have any idea to look at that.
I'm still not sure though. I think that's my biggest challenge is that with me, it's constantly flowing, right?
Yeah,
because as I learn and grow, then it's changing. So
yeah, we all go through that. No problem. That is really normal. And if anybody wants information about the shake your face off shakers, she'll put it on Facebook for us. They're gorgeous.
It's part of my video, but I couldn't get my video to upload. It kept just telling me it was too big. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I did actually do my homework.
Do you have it on your computer?
No, it's on my phone, which will talk to my computer, but for some reason it's not. So then I tried.
We could screen share your phone, but all right. Well, we can problem solve that later, you and me.
Okay.
I'm good at tech.
Sounds good.
Okay. In the meantime, let's do this exercise now. So everybody, take a breath. And write down, you don't have to limit it to 3. 3 is like hard work to get down to 3. I like to start with like five or so, or 10, just like writing them down. What are some of my archetypes? So Grace, you were a great example for everybody to see your sharing, you know, because you shared so vulnerably with everybody. And then we got to see like, right. So she's bright, fun. She's the jester, right? That's the archetype. And that is one thing to bring forth. And I think inventive, and maybe something with healing. So that's a very unique combination of those 3 things. See, you guys, when she represents herself, she can bring those things forth. And I haven't seen your intro video, but I would love it to be with those little faces or little bunnies, and, you know, with her colorfulness and her saying, I'm here to bring the healing benefits of the bright, creative, inventive colors of your rhythm. So it actually makes this kind of promotion stuff a lot easier when you anchor into your archetypes. Are there any other archetypes we haven't said? I mean, we all have this archetype, I think, of creativity, the creator.
What is the archetype for childlike, as in return to child? The innocent? The
innocent.
Innocent, okay.
The innocent, exactly. Yeah. And playful. I just recently saw a shocking statistic. The creative peak is age 6.
Oh. No.
For real. So that's something to, and if part of your brand, you see, one thing great about these archetypes is we can have very strong polarities, but they fit together in our work. So you could be like the innocent and the scientist, you know, and that can come together. And I think that actually that's the beauty of a lot of people that are famous, is they bring together very divergent archetypes. Yeah.
Thomas More said that we're both young and old every day of our lives. And the trick is just to be able to express what you're feeling in the moment, however you're feeling.
And facilitation is also a kind of archetype in and of itself. So let's take a minute, everybody write down your list, however you'd like. And then I'm going to have you share it with a partner in the breakout room. Oh, thank you, Damon. Oh, Carol, that's a great thought. That's really great. I think that, Damon, we should think about the word monk for you, though. I want to reframe that word a little bit. Can I coach you on that for a minute?
Please.
Okay. Visionary, musician. I think something like spiritual. Soften the word monk, because it has it needs a new branding person, because monk gives us this one certain perspective, and you don't have to be that perspective. It's kind of negative. But if you brought it into a more spiritual frame, so visionary, teacher, healer, musician, what do we call this, you guys? A spiritual, I don't want to say seeker, but, you know, conscious. That's the better word. Conscious man. That's a good brand to have right now. And the conscious male movement is really growing. I've been tracking that for a while. So that the whole field of conscious dance, there's now a publication called Conscious Dance.
Really?
I'm predicting the conscious drumming movement coming along too. Meantime, so sometimes I catch words like, thank you, Damon, for being open to being coached in that moment. It took a while to find that word, but conscious is going to be a softer and more current language for you to hold on to in your brand. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, some people are using the term conscious hip hop, conscious music is it's kind of a term. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I just had this vision. I saw a 5-pointed star with each of those words for you. Lulu, engager. Ooh, she's just creating an archetype, but that's the facilitator. Joy maker, playful, innocent, community builder, healer. Okay, so this is good. You guys are getting the idea of this exercise.
Actually,
Lulu, one thing, go ahead.
Damon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Christine, I'm remembering in the last course, you called me a transformational music guide.
Yeah. I know. I love that for you.
Guide be part of the branding?
Not so, actually, yeah, that's a good one. Guide. Sure. Lulu, I think there's something more to your brand, which has to do with your credibility and your science, or you've worked for so many years in the field. So science, or, not scientist, but playful, innocent, community builder, healer. I wanted to say elder.
Oh, good. Yeah, I am elder.
But I mean it more in the term of...
I'm elderly. I'm probably the oldest of all you guys.
Don't take that the wrong way. I mean it more in the term of okay, the better word is sage.
Ah, okay. I like that.
Sage.
A sage. I am a sage. I've been doing it long now. Yeah.
Sage, yeah. And add that. Notice the difference that feels when we read Lulu's list. Engager, happiness, joy maker, community builder, healer, sage. That just brings us a little depth to who she is. Because we don't want to lose the depth by being all about the fun. Yeah, so Stephen, thanks for finding that link. It's very helpful. You guys can take a look at it. Caregiver is one of the archetypes.
Oh, yeah.
And creator. And this is a very nice description that you found, Stephen. And sage is there too. And what was the one I called you, Damon? I love that one. Spiritual music guide. You have to, yeah.
Yeah, transformational music guide.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, Carol, warrior, creative, healer, performer. This is great. You guys are totally on it. All right, let's share with a partner. I'm going to stick you in a breakout group. This is a very short 5-minute practice of just sharing with the person. And part 2, say your list. Part 2 is let your partner tell you images that evokes. Like if I hear this list, magician, sage, jester, what kind of images come to me? So can you guys interact about that? And then make sure there's time for your partner to talk. Here we go. Okay, we're 11 people. It should work for just to be in 5 groups. All right, takes a minute. Here it goes. I have to make sure John is on a phone and on a computer. So just have to make sure I know what to do. Okay, you go to group out 5. All right, John, you're set. And this is good. I switched you guys out of your normal partnerships. So that's good. Like people aren't with their normal partners. There's some new combinations here, which is great. In the government, even when the government shut down, creativity is never shut down. Don't shut down your creativity or something like that. So I tracked on Facebook who shared it with their group. And that's how I joined those groups. So I saw, oh, this video was shared with the Women's Frame Drumming Facebook group. I didn't even know. Okay, I'm going to join that. So these little steps you get to hook into your communities. Another one of my favorite ones is the Music Therapy Professional Success Facebook group with 3,500 people. So once you start to find these, this is external marketing. Having a YouTube channel. This is meeting the general public, right? External marketing. Catching your email campaigns, Lulu, that's a good example of external marketing. Building your email list. Making sure you invite people to join. Can I add you to my email list? Growing that list. What I did is on Constant Contact, they give me a simple thing. Text the word drumming to 22482 and you can join the list. It's totally automated. Hallelujah. So you can find that. I don't think MailChimp does it, but Constant Contact does it. And last, number 4, what and where are you marketing? Again, being careful not to do self-promoting at an event that's not yours, and always asking first. So that's the one little danger edge of marketing. But having a card, a woman that I was at an event had a very nice card for marketing. It was a card that wasn't about her company. It was a free affirmation card for how to create more joy in your life. Cool. I want to take that. So then on the bottom and on the back, it tells about her. So I thought that was a nice marketing positioning. Facebook ads are always great for boosting your exposure. Local events, networking, social media platforms, all of those things. There's just never been a better time to do marketing, but it comes down to your brand. What is your brand? And having that clarity has got to be consistent on any platform. It can't all of a sudden look like you're the crazy wild jester if you've been working hard to be the scientist. Make sense? So maintaining that, and then start to do some research into where are those communities. I would think, Carol, there's be a lot on creative aging, because that's a very large movement. And sometimes it's just a matter of us, like a surfboard, catching somebody else's wave, like John's example is really great about experiential educators. Man, you start to find those people, and then you're doing brand and external marketing. External means they don't speak our language, they don't drink our Kool-Aid. These are the outside world people. Okay, Alicia, I created a Valentine's Day self-love vlog post on my YouTube channel and boosted it last week on Facebook. Let's find out how it did. You want to tell us how it did?
Yeah, I can't remember the actual stats right now. I'd have to look, but I think it reached, I just took like $15 and I posted it. I used Buffer to post across different social media platforms. So I posted the first thing, I scheduled it to post last Wednesday, the day before Valentine's, on our Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. And then once it actually posted, I went into Facebook and just boosted it for $15 and reached like, I think it was more than 1,000 people. And I just tried, Facebook has a thing where they can recommend, like you can pick your audience, or Facebook can be like, we'll pick the audience for you based on your content and the users. And so I just tried that and ended up getting boosted outside of my geographic area. There was like people across the country that were seeing it, which I was like, well, that wasn't really my intent, but just kind of creating that general awareness and getting people to see who I am and what I do. It was just like a little experiment for me. So every once in a while, I'll just boost a post and see how it does.
Give her some love. Thank you. And by the way, great marketing. Valentine's Day self-love. Here's a rhythm for self-love. Very good thinking. Let's do one last thing on this call. Everybody write down on the chat bar one thing you can give away. Because again, we want people to have a free sample of us. So whether it's an audio rhythm track, or it's 10 best tips, or it's a curated playlist. Listen, I did this at Yosemite, when I spoke at the Yosemite Peace Conference. I created a curated playlist of peace music. And I gave it away in my presentation to people who signed up on my, who texted the word drumming to the 22828. So what I'm liking about this marketing is I want to always maintain my authenticity. I call it authentic marketing with you guys, because I want to make sure, ooh, I love that. I would take that naive, a breath meditation to clear creative blocks. I want that. That's really great. So yeah, and a guided meditation on voice and rhythm, but tell me the benefits, Stephen, for what? Always think about what's in it for me, okay? So Nai gave us a great example. Breath meditation for clearing creative blocks. Great. So I created a beautiful, peace of mind is great. So I created a beautiful playlist on Spotify. It's, it took time, yes, and I felt really good about it. So I created that playlist as a bonus gift to the participants in that conference. So if I was in John's shoes, I'd be thinking about 5 tips for experiential educators to use rhythm, you know, or people like these 3 things or 2 things or 2 secrets, right? I just want you guys to be thinking about what you can give away. Now that's too big of a gift, Jimbo, because it's transactional. Personal coaching sessions when signing up for a block of classes. I would rethink that. Try to make that less transactional. Is it something that you could, you know, make an audio recording for 15 minutes of you speaking about the most common coaching things when drumming in a group? I mean, I would want that. Right? After X number of years of improvisational training and drum circles, I'm going to give you the top 10 things to think about when you come to a drum circle, or that'd be kind of fun. Tips for a successful drum. Successful drum. No, I usually do just one thing when they sign up for the email list, John, to answer your question. But occasionally a conference organization wants to give away my music to everyone. Yeah, okay. And if they do, that's great, man. Great exposure for me, right? Give away a track of music. So I'm glad you guys are thinking about this. Brad, I'm not clear about yours. But if I was Brad, I would give away, yeah, I was just thinking that for activity directors. I would give that to them. And actually, Lulu, I wanted to highlight Lulu because she came up with something that was, what was it we did for your conference presentation? It was a list of songs that you recommend for early onset dementia.
Mm-hmm. Songs that people with dementia to use with people with really onset dementia. Yep. And it was just a whole list of songs. Yeah. So that was really that was very successful. Everybody's really keen on that at the conference I was at. And that was a whole different group of people too, because it was on active aging. So they'd never experienced the whole world of the drum circle at all. So they really, they were really keen. So it's good.
External marketing, good job.
Thank you.
Grace, how are you doing with thinking about something you can give away? You're good.
Oh yes, I'm muted. I put it on there. I said one of my shakers or one of my CDs or one of my, like a Thunder Tube. I often do that to get people to sign up for my emails or to get them to give me feedback before running out to another workshop at a conference. I'm like, before you leave, please fill out. It's only 3 questions. And I just get them to fill that out and then put their email on a list, and then I can add them to my email list. And I just say 1 person will win. I'll select from them, and all I have to do is send out 1.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, thank you. All right, I think this has been one of the most cool calls. Carolina, did you get to chime in on this? Is she still here? I'd love to know what she gives away, but let me just say, this has been so inspiring, you guys. Let's read this list. If you can't see the chat bar, this is really inspiring. I mean, look at all these giveaway ideas right now.
Christine, I think Carolina sent the message to me privately, accidentally, that she gives away an inner child healing song.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, great. Great. So John, just you guys look through these. These are so interesting. And if you haven't created something that you have as a dedicated giveaway, it's a really important thing to do. And you don't have to create it. You could curate a Spotify playlist for, I mean, how would the activity directors love Brad if he said, I've curated a Spotify playlist for you to use in the nursing home, I mean, the long-term care center, that is healthy rhythm inspired songs for memory stimulation. This is valuable content marketing. So John, video music tip or native flute 4. Well, I think John Crowder, you could have recorded, and I did record what you did at the beginning of our call today, and that would be fabulous. It's a 2-track recording. You would play the flute and then you would speak separately. Alicia, I really wanted to read yours. Rhythmify your life with 6 easy tips, lists for newsletter subscribers. Great. A free webinar on rhythm, the research, the myths, and simple ways to reduce stress now. Woo! Also, you have to watch Alicia's intro. She did such a great job of articulating. I was blown away when you said, we've worked with over X thousands of people in hundreds of cities. I was blown away by her statistics. It really made you just go, wow. Plus, I was really happy to see you play a frame drum. Because it's hard to get the djembe on the camera. All right, well, these have been really fun, you guys. And again, my homework assignment for you is to look at your email signature, really go back and review that, and complete one marketing campaign that we've talked about tonight, internal or external. If you haven't already done so, work on this giveaway. I'm going to add that for something. And the idea of the accountability partner is exactly what Brad and Carol shared. It's just getting someone to help you get over any resistance that you have to these tasks. And just doing it together always helps. I mean, I coached people one-to-one for 8 years, started doing the groups, and started seeing breakthroughs that I never saw as much as with the group. I was like, oh, the group is where it's at. So we're really here to dedicate ourselves to our own professional success and monetizing our work in the world, but also to help each other with these projects. If you haven't done the video, get it done. And thank you. Is there any questions to close tonight's call? You guys can unmute. Oh, maybe you can't. Can you unmute? You can talk now freely.
What was the second thing, Christine? You want us to look at our email signatures and then what?
And then complete one marketing campaign.
Oh, okay.
So one thing you suggested, I tricked you into writing those. So Lulu, you can send out that email to that creative aging circuit. Or it might be, next session we'll be doing session number 2, which is really good. It's on time management. It's on March 18th. And I love this topic because getting everybody to be a mastermind efficient with time is really important. But this marketing and branding, I feel, is really important because I want to start tracking it. How you guys look in your branding over time. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course, Stephen, that's a perfect example. Turns out Jimbo is going to be with Stephen in March doing a gig. So it's pretty cool that they're going to be together. Oh, I'm sorry. Our next call, I was wrong. It's the 25th. Thanks for catching that. March 25 is our next call. We pushed this one up a week because 3 of you guys are going to be at a conference where you will be marketing yourselves. Make sure to always take a business card. Let's close with a one-word share. Start with you, Brad.
Inspiration.
Oh, okay. One thing you're taking with you from the call. Grace.
That was quick. Joy.
Okay. Jimbo.
New ideas.
Great. Lulu.
Excitement.
Stephen.
Encouraged.
Alicia.
Spark.
Nai.
Branching out.
Carol.
Dream builder. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Goosebumps. Damon.
Give.
John.
Camaraderie.
Beautiful. If you haven't yet, please go watch the 5 videos that are posted on our Facebook page. It's really inspiring. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
See you guys next month. Keep posting on Facebook.
Thank you.
I will too. Thanks, everyone. Give a big Zoom applause.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Let's sign up the 2 people for next week, next month. Who wants to do the opening? Welcome. Nai is in. Nai will do opening welcome experience. And how about professional tips? Anybody feel that they could share some professional tips? One specific tip and an example is all we need.
I can do that.
Great. Okay.
What time is the call?
What?
What time is the call on the 25th?
4 p.m. Pacific, always.
Okay, I'm arriving from India at like right around that time. So I hope I can get on the call.
Well, that definitely will help with your conscious male branding. Really? Okay.
Adios. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.